are here in Englishtown, New Jersey. I love this track. I love the people here. I wish we were on the road course, but the game of the layout, I had a lot of fun last time we were here, driving the S15, ripping around, and I feel like even though no one was really running the FD layout, I was running the FD layout and getting my marks. So I'm super stoked to go out today, having a lot more laps on this track, and getting to rip it in a car that I know is gonna shred here. Boys are going over the cars, and then on the other side, we've got the activation set up. The RTR Spec 2's over here chilling. We've been bringing it around to pretty much all the stops. You guys can see it in person. And then we're gonna be bringing it as well to another AutoZone meet tonight. I know I haven't talked much about this car in videos, but one cool thing is it is built off a performance pack donor car, so it's got legit cooling, it's got a Torsen diff, and then it also has the RTR adjustable coilovers and sway bars. So the thing will rip on the track, but it's also comfortable on the street. It is automatic, the 10 speeds rip. The thought process is that way whoever wins it will be able to drive it no problem. It's been pretty cool though. I know you guys have been tagging me in pictures. At AutoZone, there's actually point of purchase displays with me in this car, and I gotta say it's kind of something crazy that I never thought would happen in my life. My ugly little face is up there in AutoZone, holding the keys of the new whip that could be yours. I want to give a massive thank you to my partners Pennzoil, Optima, NGK, NTK, Type S, and of course AutoZone for making this happen, and it's free to enter for you guys. All you have to do is check out the link in the description and it could be yours. Since this is a combined Pro Spec Pro round, we get way more practice time than usual. I think it's a total of 6 hours, and we are allowed to have 12 laps. So we've been waiting for the track to dry just out of those consistent conditions, since it's going to be dry tomorrow in qualifying. But we're about to go out there. I think the goal is to get around 9 laps today, and then save the final 3 for tomorrow. So we've got my first run out, getting the feel for the car again after driving the demo cars. It's a bit weird, but so much easier to drive. I didn't have the confidence in knowing that the car was going to be able to pull me away from the zones. This car has so much grip and so much forward drive that you can really just throw it into these corners at a bajillion miles an hour and be able to drive your way to the inside of the corner. But first lap out, I didn't have full confidence, so you can see that I was coming up quite a bit shallow in these zones, but still getting muscle memory of the track. Here's my first chase following JTP. I throwed him behind him, but he kind of breathed on the throttle and I was a little bit too aggressive, so I got myself pinched out here and wound up spinning. I need to learn and remember to give some room there, which you'll see me do on this one. That way I can just plan on the attack in the next corner. So here I'm following Dylan Hughes. I leave a little bit of space here. That way I can just get a clear window and boom, suck right in, and then just kind of drive and get a hang in here. This lap felt pretty good. There's definitely some corrections that I can adjust, but overall, kind of like my references, transition timing and everything, felt really good on this lap for my second tandem out. Probably one of the best tandems I've done in the comp car, so promising. There's nothing really special about this run except for I threw it backy on the wall and it looked pretty gangster. But I didn't have enough speed to make it to the end of the zone, so it didn't really count. Overall though, okay run. I'm just going to stop it here because, I mean, I guess I'll just leave it rolling. You guys can just watch. Felt good. It's where I needed to be. Car was fast. Sorensen was doing a good job chasing too. On this chase, I left a little bit too much room on entry, but my transition timing, kind of muscle memory of the track, played in my favor because I was able to transition and get the car right to where I needed to be. One thing you are going to notice, after I pass the inner clip and throw it in the next corner, I don't get on the gas soon enough and the car loops because it needs the wheel speed to be able to have the side bite it needs to take out of the corner. I struggle with getting the RPMs up fast enough because the cars don't really rev nicely from idle, but my idle is also very low, so we'll be raising it going into tomorrow just because it's such a tight window going from handbrake back onto the gas pedal that if we can close that up, it will play hugely beneficial, and then I can get on the gas sooner, get wheel speed sooner, and shorten that time from when I'm on handbrake back to on the gas again. Some people would kind of like heel toe in areas like that, but I think that's just going to add another element of error because I'm not used to doing that in this car, hence wanting to just be able to get from the foot brake back to the gas as quickly as possible. All right, are you going?
Yeah.
Check. Hey, all right, listen. So, I love meeting you guys. I love having meet and greets and stuff, but I am an introvert. I've mentioned this in videos before. We were talking in the car right here. I feel like the best analogy for it is I was a kid that hated birthday parties. I hated when people sing happy birthday to me. I hate attention. I know it sounds wild. I'm a YouTuber with a bunch of followers. Doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's not an uncommon thing though. So these meet and greets, the anxiety level that happens before them, and like rolling up and seeing all the crazy cars. I think honestly though, the biggest torture thing of being here is I'll hang out with you guys, take photos and like signatures all day, and I'll see from my peripheral all these cool cars that I just want to go look at and stare at and touch. And I never get to do that because y'all leave by the time I'm done. But Mike is gonna walk around and he's gonna film some of the cool cars here because I feel like they never get enough attention when I do these little meetups at AutoZone. So yeah, that's it.
Birthday boy. Happy birthday to you.
Put it in park.
Oh wow! Did he actually put it in park?
I always wonder what happened when he did that.
Chelsea, tell me about a trick. It just clicks and then eventually it'll stop.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it like until it can comfortably do it, I guess.
That was funny.
That was good.
I'm surprised it let me. Was your foot on the brake?
No.
Really?
Happy birthday, dear At. Yo, that trans is unhappy.
Do it forward this time.
So there was a F80 M3 that came in here crackling and popping. Mike, I need you to walk over. I need you to film the sticker that I just spotted from afar on the car. Yo, y'all always show out here in the Tri-State. Everything we've done at E-Town, stuff here, stuff in Connecticut, it's so cool. I love the Northeast. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Now I'm gonna go sleep and then qualify tomorrow. Day 2, I was stupid yesterday and I got confused. They actually moved where the zone was. So the first outer zone that I thought was like deep, like they do for a gambler layout, actually starts right off the wall. So I went into practice, focusing on fixing that because the rest of the track felt pretty good. And then we had a engineering meeting where a different technique through transition was suggested to me. So I gave that a shot on my first lap. As you can see in my first lap, I made the call, even though it may be something that could shave off a second or two of my lap time, it just made me feel wildly uncomfortable and messed up my entire lap. So I changed my strategy to just go back to what I was doing the day prior, even if it was a little bit slower, to just focus on having consistent laps for qualifying. Normally I'd be doing a bunch of chase too, but I decided I wanted to focus on the lead, so I did some lead laps. ending practice, going into qualifying, I feel pretty good everywhere on track. I definitely need to push a little bit deeper on outer zone 1, but everywhere else I feel pretty good, so stoked on that. Got a bunch of lead practice. I'll get some more chase tomorrow and we'll see what we can do.
Driver who needs no introduction, Adam LZ. Adam LZ, again, driving a lot. This is a busy man, you know, former BMX rider and just content creator, ripper and shredder. Look at this now, again, piloting this RTR, the AutoZone RTR Mustang Spec 5D. Really good execution on that second outside zone. I think this track is going to favor him well. Look at that massive angle coming to that final outside zone. Really well done there for Adam LZ. Again, always one of the crowd favorites. And that's just, you know, that run to me says, I'm not going to leave it in the judge's hands. I'm going to show you what I can do. And he did just that.
Well, and he's itching for a good qualification here because qualification has been the thing that's hurt him this year. I mean, he has had some absurd matchups in the top 32 with former champions, Forsberg, Osbo, and that's just asking to get knocked out in the top 32 when you're dealing with veterans like that. And that's all come about because of qualifying. So if he can get himself a halfway decent qualifying score, which looks like he's going to here, that's going to allow him a little bit more of a breathing room against that top 32 competitor. That's going to be more along the lines of where he qualified. It's just so tough when you have to go up against the number 1 or number 2 guy. When the number 1 or number 2 guy is a Denofa, a Forsberg, an Osbo, it's like, man, I got them again.
Yeah, but the good thing here is, you know, how many drivers back? I mean, Chelsea Denofa ran 7th. Here, 20 drivers, 87, and 87 for Adam LZ. So a good score for him. But 20 drivers ago, Chelsea Denofa went RTR, Ford Mustangs. Hey, bro, this is what you're going to need to do.
I'm super happy. For once, I went out during qualifying and did exactly what I wanted to do. I pushed it about 10% harder in all the areas. It's always like a tough wager, right? Because I'd love to push it 30% harder to try to go for a 100-point qualifying run, but that's rat me before, and I didn't feel like getting rat today. So I basically pushed it a little bit differently in outer zone 1, left a little bit early, but overall the car just felt sick everywhere. One thing that I started doing today, because we don't have a tire consumption issue, I'm getting the tires like scoldering hot in the burnout box, and I've found that it makes the car feel way more consistent throughout the rest of the track versus starting with them pretty cold, having a ton of grip in the beginning and then starting to heat up and then have less grip through the second half of the track. So I'm happy. I think we'll probably end up somewhere in the top 13 overall, so I'll be leading for my first battle in the RTR Mustang that I'm not chasing first.
Those did not go very far. Ooh, one-handed. Oh, look at somebody gave some support. Good catch. What are these? Rubber. That's not successful. Oh, no. Okay, you guys tied. That's perfect. So here's this one. And then he gets that one. That's from my car, so really good. Alright. How about Mustang key? First Mustang key.
No, I didn't bring it!
Dang, F-150 will work too. You got the key? Alright, there you go. It's an F-150 too. All right, cool. Oh, we got a bag. We got a bag. Ooh. Ooh. How about a backflip? Anybody got a backflip? No. Everyone's like, oh, I'm out. Okay, the handstand. We got that. What do you think? Oh, we got a backflip. All right. Oh gosh. Here you go. Give her some room. Give her some room. Give her some room. Yeah! Hey, that was perfect. There you go. I knew there was a backflip out there. Good job. 1 in 230 people can do a backflip, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.
It is competition day, going up against Forsberg, gonna have some fun in the practice. Got my lead lap locked down yesterday, feel pretty good about that, what I gotta do to make the lead run good, and then the chase I had fun with, and I felt pretty good with that as well, so I'm gonna go do that again, and then do that in the battle, okay? What's up?
You good?
Yeah, what's wrong? Mike, stop.
Mike's not good.
Yo, ever since Mike stopped wearing black, he's been a whole new man.
Yeah.
I feel the best I ever have in this car. I feel like I'm getting a hang of the track and the car and like a lot of different ways to do things, but every chase I did, I feel like I learned things, but I feel like I'm like feeling the best I've ever had in the car, both in my lead and my chase, so I definitely feel good going into battle. I got a lot of practice runs in, so stoked about that, and now we do the opening ceremonies and go out to battle.
Toyota GR 86 OG Kishiro Dushi. Up next, this man needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyways. He goes from 2 wheels, that's BMX. He goes from 4 wheels, ripping, gripping, and now drifting for the RTR camp. In the AutoZone Penzo Optima Batteries Mustang RTR Spec 5D, it is Adam LZ.
The boys just made the call that they're actually going to change my clutch before the first battle. It started feeling funny. I think it's just getting a little hot and a little worn down. But as soon as we get back to the pits, the boys are going to rip it out, pop a new one in, so we're good to go for battle.
Into the Ford Mustang for the first time this year.
These kind of situations will test you. They absolutely will test you. You know, brand new car, new team this year with Adam. He had one round in Long Beach where he didn't have to face a champion, but from there on out, it's been Osbo or Chris Forsberg, and now he's getting him again.
Adam LZ will lead in the AutoZone RTR Spec 5. Chris Forsberg giving chase as Nas Ender Drink, Nissan 370Z. Here comes Adam LZ in that first outside zone. Chris Forsberg initiates, looks like Adam LZ hooking up, coming and really slingshotting out of that first outside zone. Adam LZ filling all of that second outside zone. Look at this, a little bit of gap between LZ and Forsberg. But again, it's all about, oh, look at this snappy transition into, oh, and Adam LZ, it looks like, so with that snappy transition, it looks like it gripped up and it created a wall in front of Forsberg. It was, I mean, Adam was doing great.
He was doing great, and I would say he even had the advantage if we're just looking at the attributes of the lead in the chase run. He did an awesome job on outside zone 1, 2, he gets in early. He's in the middle to the deeper part of that zone. Forsberg is starting to surge forward now, closes at that inside clip 1. Huge angle from LZ, and he starts slowing down to the point to where Forsberg has nowhere to go. Taking a look at it again, this transition was a huge snap back around. You can see he's on the e-brake there, and before he can get on the throttle, Forsberg really had no option as he's coming through that smoke cloud. There is a very little tiny decel right there after the transition, and Adam just extended it all the way into the zone, which I don't think is going to play with the judges there. You got to be back on throttle, and you can see where the collision was actually made. Adam should have been picking up the throttle way before then.
I definitely threw it a little too hard on that last corner. If anything, I just released the throttle a little too soon and it caused me to rotate too fast. Definitely not stoked because I felt really good about my lead and we were actually pulling a gap on it. The good thing is though, it's kind of taken all pressure off me and now I can just go have a blast and push it in his door on my chase. If he up or if he brake checks and I hit him, well then we might get it one more time. But otherwise I'm going to put on a show and have some fun.
The all-new Nissan Z NOS Energy Drink Vehicle, Adam LZ in the Auto Zone. Pennzoil RTR Spec 5D. Chris Forsberg under the bridge into that first outside zone. Into the second outside zone. Go Forsberg and Z. And now into that, look at that. Look at Adam LZ sticking it to the door of Chris Forsberg, the three-time champ. Now transitioning into that final outside zone. Chris Forsberg brings it on in, Adam LZ. Absolutely getting buck wild out there. So you saw Adam LZ apply the pressure on that second outside zone.
He had to do it,
and
you got to applaud it. You have to applaud it. It's a three-time champion you're going up against, and you've got an incomplete. You have to throw everything you possibly can at the second half of this battle, knowing that you're in the chase position, and the only thing that's going to help you is an unforced air or pressure that gets to the driver psychologically to where they make a mistake. Now that's a really tough ask against Chris Forsberg, but a great job by LZ. Obviously that little mistake there at the end is not really going to matter, but what leading up to that was impressive. It's a good way to cap off the top 32. Goes out strong, and even though he had that mistake in the first run, I think he should keep his head high.
Yeah, it was a great effort there. Like you said, Ryan, just bears repeating. Great effort by Adam LZ, but unfortunately not enough after that spin on that first run. So Adam LZ is knocked out. Chris Forsberg gets the win.
That was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, like, Forsberg, I love you, but I don't know what happened on that part of the beginning, because you were slow as You certainly weren't slow when you were chasing me. It was fun, but it kind of screwed me up a little bit, so I did some weird stuff in the beginning, but I don't think anyone could really tell. It was weird because I've never entered that corner going so slow. But I made it work. Everything felt great. There's definitely some weird stuff, but I think more than anything, this is the first round where I felt like I could everyone up here. I have the car, and now I know how to drive the car. Unfortunately, I just took myself out in my lead run, but I think after that chase, people are going to know enough around anymore, and that makes me stoked because I finally feel like I know what I got to do with this car to be competitive. And it's a good feeling. Not the result that I wanted, but as Chelsea likes to say, I feel like I f***ed a hole in the sky on a chase run, and that was really fun. I haven't had a good chase in FD yet, so that was my first like fun chase where I'm just all over someone. I like that. Back in Florida now. I want to close out this video. I've kind of reflected at some of the mistakes and some of the things that went down. Ultimately, I'm still super happy. I feel like I made a lot of progress with the car. I know that the team can see that. They're stoked. So many words of encouragement. Ultimately, I've seen some comments and I know that what it appears to be the mistake is that both in the lead and the chase, I threw too much angle into the last corner. And now while that's correct, I wanted to explain, it's not necessarily that I threw too much angle, but what causes that in these Mustangs and in a lot of FD cars, because we are putting so much power and grip down to the rear, if you lift off throttle at the wrong time, what happens is you have a drastic weight transfer from the rear to the front at the same time that you're going through a transition, and it causes the car to over-row. In the lead, I probably could have got on throttle a little bit sooner and prevented it. I would have missed the last zone after talking with Chelsea. In the future, I'm better off missing an entire zone and getting back on the throttle to prevent having a big deceleration that could cause a collision. And I could have possibly still won the battle, but I was waiting for it to catch because I still wanted to fill the outer zone because that's what my focus was on. But every single battle, every single competition, you live and you learn. I feel like this has been a really big learning year for me. I've definitely had some lucky battles in the past, but this season, everybody's driving at the top of their game. I'm having to work for it, and I'm really stoked that the next track we're going to is another small technical track like E-Town because I was feeling sick in the cars. I'm gonna continue feeling sick, and I'm gonna keep on pushing harder and harder. I appreciate all the support. I love getting to talk to all you guys out there. I appreciated y'all that hung out and chatted. I think we were hanging out till like midnight, probably even past that. It was a good time. Appreciate you. I appreciate you guys watching, and I know I know you guys are gonna be stoked on some of the content that's gonna be coming out this week. It's gonna be a good time. See you soon.
And now into that, look at that. Look at Adam LZ sticking it to the door of Chris Forsberg, the 3-time champ. Now transitioning into that final outside zone. Chris Forsberg brings it on in, Adam LZ